Hey everyone, I still haven't gotten Price of Honour to the table yet, but I've got a couple of moments before I hit the sack this evening, and I thought I'd take a quick look at the Polish units that come with Price of Honour, and just to see what they were like in comparison to the German ones, and how these Polish armoured units stood up to the Blitzkrieg, or try to stand up to the Blitzkrieg anyway. So without further ado, let's just pop into the box and just take a look at some of these Polish armoured units. So I'm reading from the rules reference books here, guys, and first up is the 7TP light tank. So this was a superb firepower tank for its time and had an excellent commander's periscope. The 7 stood for 7 ton. So yeah, not bad anti-armour at 5. To fire, it's a cost of 3, which is pretty reasonable. Frontal armour is not bad. And so yeah, not a bad light tank that the Poles had here in the 7TP. So this is the Vickers E. It's a British-built tank and was the direct predecessor of the 7TP. So it was the second most common tank design in the world at the outbreak of World War II. Whoa. Okay, so pretty wide-ranging tank there with pretty even firepower against infantry and armour. And the armour is not quite as flash as the 7TP in terms of frontal armour anyway. Okay, so that's the that's the Vickers E. So we're looking at the TKS MG tankette. So this was a scout tankette, whatever that is, and was known as the Roach because of its low profile. It was only armed with a Hotchkiss 25mm machine gun by the look of it. So purely anti-infantry and not that strong at that. Reasonable frontal armour and yeah, not a great expense to fire either. So that's the tankette MG TKS. Okay, so hanging in the corner here we've got the TKS FKA tankette. So this was fitted with a 20mm L7 3.5 automatic cannon. So tankettes were the primary armoured unit in the Polish army, but were outclassed by the Panzers. Obviously, looking at that thing, I can see easily why. So that's your second tankette. Okay, so we've got a double Z34 armoured car. So this was the standard armoured car of the Polish army, and it had a turreted 37mm L21 gun. Okay, so 3 and 3 against infantry and armour, and reasonable armour protection. Quite fast. Okay, so there's our armoured car. So that's a look at the Polish armour that comes with the expansion. There's a whole lot of German tanks and Soviet tanks that come along with it as well, but we're just looking at the Poles in this video. Got to mention also the armoured train, which obviously features highly in this expansion here, and here it is with a pretty strong defensive armour of 15 front and rear, and 5 against infantry, only 3 against armour, and just a 2 to fire. So not a bad little armoured train. It'd be interesting to see how that works out in playing the actual scenario with it in there. So taking a quick look at some of their anti-tank capability. This is a WZ36 anti-tank gun. So it's actually a Bofors 37mm L45 anti-tank gun capable of penetrating light German armour. That was fielded by some of the Panzers in the Polish campaign. So yep, packing a 5 firepower against armour there, only 2 to fire. So not a bad anti-tank gun by the look of it. This is the WZ36 AA gun, a 40mm L56 anti-aircraft gun designed by the Swedish manufacturer Bofors. Boy, don't arms manufacturers around the world make money when there's a war, you know, and that rings true even today. So this has got anti-armour of 5 and Yes, it costs a lot to move though. It's 7. Wow. So that's your anti-aircraft capability. Here we're looking at the WZ2/26 field gun, which was a quick-firing 75mm divisional field artillery piece, based on the M1902, whatever that is. So looking more like a anti-infantry gun as opposed to an anti-tank gun. Expensive to fire and pretty tough to maneuver on the battlefield as well. So just before we wrap up here, let's just have a quick scan of some of the Polish units here. So you got your rifle units, and their firepower is pretty much equivalent to the German units that were fielded in this campaign. The Polish army were pretty. They weren't a bad army at all, and it was just very much the superior tactics and innovation of the Germans that just made them dominate the battle for Poland. And pretty much can be said for the Blitzkrieg on France as well. The French army was huge, and they had pretty strong army, the French. And again, it was the German tactics and innovation with Blitzkrieg and that and they were outthought by more modern thinkers in terms of planning and that. These two armies, the Polish and the French, they weren't weak armies. They were pretty solid outfits. Just they had generals that were still back in the World War One era. Okay, guys, so that's the Polish units for Price of Honor. Really looking forward to getting into this and seeing if I can reverse history here and kick out the Germans from our beloved Poland. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys, and wherever you are, take it easy. Hope all's going well for you, and we'll catch you on the next video.